Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, my fellow classmates. My name is Mora Justice. I'll be talking about modern portfolio concepts. But before I begin, let me share some of the insight for today, the learning objectives. Which number one is to understand the portfolio management objectives, calculate the return and standard deviation of a portfolio, discuss the concept of correlation and diversification, and the effectiveness, methods, benefits of international diversification. Then you describe the two components of risk beta and the capital asset pricing model. Describe the role of investor characteristics and objectives of portfolio objectives, policies in constructing an investment portfolio. Then review the traditional modern approach to portfolio management and reconcile them. Summarize why and how investors use an asset allocation scheme to construct an investment portfolio. First, what is a portfolio? A portfolio is a collection of investment vehicles assembled to meet one or more investment goals. We have the growth-oriented portfolio. Primary objective is long-term price appreciation. Then we have the income-oriented portfolio, which is the primary objective is current dividends and interest income. We have the ultimate goal, an efficient portfolio. What is an efficient portfolio? A portfolio that provides the highest return for a given level of risk. Given the choice between the two equally risk investment, an investor will choose the one with the highest potential return. Given the choice between two investments offering the same return, an investor will choose the one that has the least risk. Then portfolio return and risk measures. Return on a portfolio is weighted average of returns on the individual assets in the portfolio. We have the standard deviation of a portfolio return is calculated using all the individual assets in the portfolio. What do we mean by return on portfolio? Portfolio return refers to the gain or loss realized by an investment portfolio containing several types of investments. Portfolios aims to deliver return based on the stated objectives of the investment strategy as well as the risk tolerance of the type of investors targeted by the portfolio. We have the correlation and why diversification work. Correlation is a statistical measure of the relationship between two series of numbers representing data. We have the positively correlated item moves in the same direction. Then we have the negatively correlated, which means that the item moves in opposite direction. We have the correlation coefficient, which it measures the degree of correlation between two series of numbers representing data. We have the correlation coefficient. Perfectly positively correlated describe two positively correlated series having a correlation coefficient of +1. Then perfectly negative correlated describes two negatively correlated series having a correlation of coefficient of -1. Uncorrelated describe two series that lack any relationship and have a correlation of coefficient nearly 0. Then to reduce overall risk in portfolio, it is best to combine assets that have a negative or low positive correlation. Uncorrelated assets reduce risk somewhat but not as effectively as combining negatively correlated assets. Investing in different investments with high positive correlation will not provide sufficient diversification. Why use international diversification? It offers more diverse investment alternatives than US only based investing. Foreign economic cycles may move independently from US economic cycle. We have the foreign markets may not be as efficient as US markets, allowing true gain from superior research. Study done between 1984 and 1994 suggests that portfolios 70% S&P 500 and 30% EFE will reduce risk and increase return 7% over 100% S&P 500 portfolio. We have the advantages of international diversification and also the disadvantage of international diversification. The first is broader investment choice. Then we have the potentially greater return than in the US. Then we have the reduction of overall portfolio risk. Then going for the disadvantage of international diversification, we have the currency exchange risk, less convenient to invest than US stock, then more expensive to invest, then riskier than investing in the US. Then we have the methods of international diversification, which is foreign company stock listed on US stock exchange. Number one is the Yankee bonds, the American depository receipts, the mutual fund investing in foreign stocks, and the US multinational companies, typically not considered as a true international investment for diversification purposes. We have the component of risk diversifiable, the unsystematic risk. Diversifiable unsystematic risk. It results from uncontrollable or random events that are fire specific, can be eliminated through diversification. Example, the labor risk or the lawsuits. The non-diversifiable systematic risk attributable to forces that affect all similar investments, and it cannot be eliminated through diversification. Example, war, inflation, and political events. We have the beta, a popular measure of risk. A measure of non-diversifiable risk indicates how the price of a security responds to market forces. The beta for the market is 1.00. We have stocks may have positive or negative betas, nearly all positive. Stocks with betas greater than 1.00 are more risky than the overall market. We have the stock with the betas less than 1.00 are less risky than the overall market. We have interpreting beta. The higher stock beta should result in higher expected result due to greater risk. If the market is expected to increase by 10%, a stock with a beta of 1.50 is expected to increase to 15%. Then if the market went down 8%, then a stock with a beta of 0.50 should only decrease by about 4%. The beta value for specific stock can be obtained from value line reports or online websites such as yahoo.com. We have the capital asset pricing model. Model links the notions of risk and return, help investors define the required return on an investment. As a beta increases, the required return for a given investment increases. Uses beta, the risk-free rate, and the market return to define the required return on an investment. We have the CAMP can also be shown as a graph, which is the capital asset pricing model. The security market line is the picture of the capital asset pricing model. We have the two approaches to constructing portfolio, which is the traditional approach and the modern portfolio theory. Traditional approach emphasizes balancing the portfolio using a wide variety of stocks or a bond. It uses broad range of industries to diversify portfolio. It tends to focus on well-known companies perceived as less risky. Stocks are more liquid and available. We have familiarity to provide higher comfort level for investors. Then we go to modern portfolio theories. Emphasis or emphasizes statistical measures to develop a portfolio plan. Then it focuses on the expected return, the standard deviation of return, the correlation between returns, and combined securities that have negative or low positive correlation between each other rates of return. We have the modern portfolio theory efficient frontiers. The leftmost boundaries of perceivable set of portfolios that include all efficient portfolios, those providing the best attainable trade-off between risk and return. Portfolios that fall to the right of the efficient frontiers are not desirable because their risk-return trade-off are inferior. Portfolios that fall to the left of the efficient frontiers are not available for the investment. We have the betas of a portfolio or how to calculate the aspect of portfolio betas. The beta of a portfolio calculated as the weighted average of betas of individual assets the portfolios include. To earn more return, one must bear more risk. Only non-diversifiable risk, which is the relevant risk, provide a positive risk-return relationship. Then how to interpret portfolio betas. We have portfolio betas are interpreted exactly same way as individual stock betas. Portfolio betas of 1.0 will experience 10% increase when the market increase is 10%. Portfolio betas of 0.775 will experience a 7.5% increase when the market increase in 10%. Portfolio beta of 1.25 will experience a 12.5% increase when the market increase is 10%. Low beta portfolios are less responsive and less risky than high beta portfolios. A portfolio containing low beta assets will have a low beta and vice versa. Then reconciling the traditional approach and the modern MPT, that's the modern portfolio theory. Recommended portfolio management policies using aspects of both approaches. Determine how much risk you are willing to bear. Seek diversification between different types of securities and industry lines. Pay attention to correlation of return between securities. Use beta to keep portfolio at acceptable level of risk and evaluate alternative portfolios to select highest return for given level of acceptable risk. Then constructing a portfolio using assets. Number one is asset allocation. Asset allocation is a process of dividing an asset portfolio into various asset classes to preserve capital by protecting against negative development while taking advantage of positive ones. In other words, don't pull of all eggs in or put all eggs in one basket. That is, you need to choose carefully. Then constructing a portfolio using an asset continuum. Investor characteristics to consider, investment experience and ability to handle risk, task consideration, etc. Then the final is portfolio objective, and that's the end of my report. Thank you.